Have you ever found yourself wide awake at exactly 3 a.m.? No noise, no nightmare, just awake. Your room is quiet, the clock glows, and yet your mind is alert, your body restless, and sleep feels suddenly unreachable. In fact, tens of millions of adults over 60 report this exact same phenomenon. Waking suddenly between 2:30 and 4 a.m., sometimes multiple times a week, sometimes every single night. It's so common that many brush it off as just a part of getting older. But what if it isn't? What if this consistent early morning waking is your body's way of warning you, subtly, silently, that something deeper is going on? In this video, we're not just going to label it insomnia and move on. We're going to explore why the aging body shifts its sleep rhythm, what it may be reacting to, and how these quiet wake-ups can be signs of deeper physiological changes, from blood sugar instability to stress hormones, to oxygen levels, and even hidden inflammation. According to the Journal of Sleep Research, over 35% of adults above age 60 experience middle-of-the-night awakenings at least 3 times a week. But researchers also found that nearly half of those cases had secondary causes. Factors like irregular cortisol spikes, drops in oxygen saturation, or fluctuations in blood glucose. These aren't random. They are biological alarm. And here's where it gets even more interesting. These 3 a.m. awakenings are often dismissed by doctors and seniors alike. But a growing body of sleep medicine now shows they may reveal the first signs of certain health conditions, sometimes years before a diagnosis is made. Cognitive decline, metabolic disorders, even cardiovascular stress. Waking at 3 a.m. might not be a meaningless habit. It might be your body's most consistent and overlooked cry for help. So what exactly is happening between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. that makes this window so sensitive for older adults? That's what we're about to uncover. Because once you understand what's really triggering these early hour disruptions, whether it's your stress hormones peaking too early, your blood sugar crashing, or your nervous system reacting to chronic inflammation, you can begin to respond. You can take action that doesn't just improve your sleep, it strengthens your brain, protects your heart, and supports your body's natural rhythms instead of fighting them. The number one cause of 3 a.m. wake-ups is the aging circadian rhythm, why your internal clock shifts after 60. Let's begin where it all starts, your circadian rhythm. This is your body's internal clock, a biological timekeeper that regulates everything from your sleep-wake cycle to hormone release, body temperature, and even digestion. For most of your life, it's worked quietly in the background, syncing itself to daylight and darkness. But as you pass age 60, something fundamental begins to shift. Your rhythm, once steady, is no longer as stable. According to sleep researchers at Harvard Medical School, the aging brain experiences a decline in melatonin production, the hormone that signals your body when it's time to sleep. This hormone is typically released in the evening and peaks during the early night hours. But after 60, your pineal gland produces significantly less of it, and the timing becomes erratic. The result? You may fall asleep earlier than you used to, but you also wake up much earlier, often in the dead of night. This phenomenon is called advanced sleep phase syndrome, and it's one of the most common circadian disruptions in older adults. Your sleep architecture, how your brain moves through different sleep stages, also changes. Older adults spend less time in deep, restorative sleep and more time in lighter sleep stages, where they're easily awakened. These changes affect much more than your rest. Disrupted circadian rhythms are linked to weakened immunity, impaired memory, and higher inflammation. Your body starts to lose its alignment with the natural rhythm of day and night. But you can rebalance. Morning sunlight exposure, consistent sleep-wake times, dimming lights in the evening, and avoiding screens before bed can all help reinforce your biological rhythm. In some cases, low-dose melatonin supplements, under a doctor's guidance, can also help. The number 2 cause, a blood sugar crash while you sleep, the hidden trigger behind 3 a.m. wake-ups. Another hidden cause of early morning wakefulness is blood sugar instability. When your blood glucose drops too low during sleep, the body enters a stress state. The brain sends a signal to release cortisol and adrenaline to correct the imbalance, and this surge of stress hormones is enough to jolt you awake. Many seniors experience this without realizing it, especially those with diabetes, prediabetes, or insulin resistance. Even without a formal diagnosis, aging naturally reduces insulin sensitivity. Eating carb-heavy or sugary meals late in the evening can create a spike crash cycle in blood sugar, leading to a 3 a.m. hormonal rebound. Alcohol can worsen this effect. It may initially induce sleep, but disrupts glucose regulation later in the night. Solutions include reducing refined carbs at dinner, pairing meals with healthy fats or proteins, and speaking with your doctor about adjusting diabetic medications if necessary. If you wake up with a pounding heart or feel better after eating, unstable nighttime glucose may be to blame. The number 3 cause: oxygen deprivation from silent sleep apnea. The silent disruptor behind 3 a.m. wake-ups. Sleep apnea is another powerful but under-recognized disruptor. When your airway collapses during sleep, oxygen levels fall. In response, your brain sends emergency signals, resulting in micro-awakenings, often around 3 a.m. This repeated oxygen deprivation stresses the cardiovascular and nervous systems and prevents you from reaching deep, restorative sleep. Over time, this is linked to heart disease, stroke, memory issues, and daytime fatigue. The condition is especially common in older adults, yet many go undiagnosed because they don't experience the typical loud snoring or gasping. Instead, the signs may be subtle, like waking unrefreshed, feeling groggy, or struggling with attention and memory. A sleep study can confirm the diagnosis, and treatments like CPAP or lifestyle changes, such as sleeping on your side or reducing weight, can dramatically restore sleep quality. The number 4 cause: an early morning cortisol spike triggered by chronic stress. Your brain and body are also highly sensitive to cortisol, the hormone that responds to stress. Cortisol is supposed to remain low through the night and rise gradually before dawn. But in many seniors, chronic inflammation, emotional tension, and even poor diet habits can cause cortisol to spike far too early, around 2 or 3 a.m., triggering premature wakefulness. These elevated levels often go unnoticed because they don't always cause emotional distress. The symptoms are subtle: an alert mind in the middle of the night, a racing heartbeat, or an inability to fall back asleep. Managing cortisol requires a calm evening routine, reduced screen exposure, deeper breathing, and nutrient support like magnesium or omega-3s. And it starts by recognizing that stress is not just emotional, it's physical and hormonal too. The number 5 cause: nighttime bladder signals and medication timing. Finally, one of the most overlooked yet fixable causes of 3 a.m. wake-ups: your bladder. Aging reduces bladder capacity and increases nighttime urine production. Combined with medications like diuretics, beta blockers, and antidepressants, this can lead to frequent nocturia, waking 1 or more times a night to urinate. It's not just the bathroom trip that disturbs sleep, it's the full awakening, the time spent trying to fall back asleep, and the repeated loss of restorative. Solutions include adjusting fluid intake earlier in the day, timing medications more appropriately, and working with your doctor to explore underlying bladder issues. Small changes can yield major results in sleep continuity. What your 3 a.m. wake-ups are really telling you. Waking up at 3 a.m. may feel like an annoying habit or a harmless side effect of aging, but as we've seen, it's often something more. Each nighttime interruption can carry a message. Your body is signaling an imbalance, whether it's rooted in shifting circadian rhythms, unstable blood sugar, disrupted breathing, hormonal stress responses, or even the timing of your medications. These early morning wake-ups are not random. They're patterned, persistent, and often predictive. Left unaddressed, they can slowly chip away at your health, contributing to inflammation, cognitive decline, elevated blood pressure, and emotional fatigue. Yet the body rarely speaks in loud alarms, it whispers. And waking at the same time each night is one of its most consistent signals that something needs attention. The encouraging news is that sleep can be restored. These disruptions are not irreversible. With awareness and small, deliberate changes, whether that's adjusting your evening routine, managing glucose through smarter meals, rethinking medication schedules, or getting screened for sleep apnea, you can improve not just your sleep, but the quality of your waking life. So now, take a moment to reflect. Has something in this video resonated with your experience? What change are you most willing to try tonight? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Whether you've found a helpful strategy or are just beginning to connect the dots, your insight may be exactly what someone else needs to read. If this video helped you understand your body more clearly, consider subscribing. We create research-based, age-aware content designed to support your health, quietly, effectively, and without fluff. Because at this stage in life, better sleep isn't just rest, it's repair, and every night matters.